This is the second part of our test review. Test being tomorrow. There'll be 14 multiple choice questions. You can use this video to help you. Parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So you want to find the slope of this line. Use your formula. Find the slope of this line. Use your formula. Then compare the slopes. If the slopes are the same, the lines are parallel. If the slopes are opposite reciprocals, then the lines are perpendicular. If neither of those relationships exist, then the lines just touch each other. We're just going to call that neither. If you need more help with this, you can go back to the last video, or you can look for the YouTube videos on this in our teams. For this one, they want you to graph the equation of a line. Now, since it's multiple choice, you're not actually graphing at all. What you're going to do is just identify the correct graph of this equation. Y equals mx plus b. This is in the m position. That's your slope. It's negative. So if you have a negative slope, your line is going to be going downhill. So on the multiple choice test, don't pick anything that goes uphill if you have a negative slope. Your y-intercept is 6. That's what that lowercase b is. Okay, so obviously I'm going to graph this, but you don't have to do this tomorrow. You just have to identify the correct graph. So our origin is here. I need to count up 6 because my y-intercept is positive 6. That point is on the line. Now I need another point on my line so I can graph it. Use the slope. Go down 3 and 5 right. That's what this means. Rise, run. Go down 3, 5 right. And you put another point. This is what the graph would look like for the equation of this line. And I'm just going to use a straight edge to connect these two. Again, you're just identifying the graph from multiple choice. The next section, write an equation of the line that satisfies the given conditions. Slope of 3 goes through the ordered pair -1, 4. Again, this is multiple choice, so you can kind of fake your way through it if you have to. But I know my answer is going to look like y equals mx plus b. To write an equation of a line, I need a slope and I need a y-intercept. If I have those two things, I put the slope here and the y-intercept here, and I'm finished. That would be my answer. They're nice enough to tell you the slope is 3. So where does that go? It goes in that m position right there. So you know right now that your answer is y equals 3x plus something. So on your multiple choice options, look for that. If it doesn't say y equals 3x plus something, you know it's not the answer. Now, there might be a couple options where you have y equals 3x plus a number. That number is the y-intercept. That's what you have to find here. Now, this is not a y-intercept. This is an x value and a y value. If you write down y equals mx plus b, notice how you know the y value, you know the m value, you know the x value. The thing you don't know is the b. So you can use algebra to find it, and then you put it right there, and that's your answer. So our y value, notice, is positive 4. Our m value is positive 3. Our x value is -1. Solve for b. 3 times -1 is -3. Add 3 to both sides. We just solved for the y-intercept. You need the slope, you need the y-intercept, you got them both. That 7 goes right there. This is your answer. We're going to use the same concepts again in this number 9. This one looks and sounds more complicated. but it's really the same thing. Write the equation of the line that is parallel to this graph, y equals negative 2x plus 3, and passes through the point 2, 1. Okay, well, I'm going to come down here. I know my answer is y equals mx plus b. The one variation to this problem compared to this one is now they're saying, give an equation that's parallel to this one. Well, look at this equation. What's the slope? It's negative 2. We know things about parallel lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. So the slope of the new line that's parallel to this one is also going to be negative 2. So just like that, without doing any work, it's multiple choice. You know the first half of your answer. Y equals negative 2x plus something. If it doesn't say y equals negative 2x plus something, then it's not your answer. Okay, now we need a y-intercept for this guy. This ordered pair lives on this line. Where is the y-intercept for that line? Write down y equals mx plus b, just like we did on the last one. We know that's an x and that's a y. We know that's the m. So plug all those things in. 1 equals negative 2 times 2 plus b. Add 4 to both sides. You just solved for the y-intercept. That means that this equation is going to cross the y-axis at 5. Hit the pause button for a second. This line is parallel to this one because they have the same slope. This line also contains this ordered pair. This is the only line in the world that's parallel to this one and has that ordered pair. It's right here. Last one, write the equation of the line that is perpendicular to the graph of y equals 3x plus 4 and passes through the ordered pair 6, 9. I'll just come down here. I know my answer is going to be y equals mx plus b. Slope, y-intercept. I need them both. Here's your line. Your line has a slope of 3. But the difference between this problem and that problem is, notice how this one says parallel. This one says perpendicular. That's a huge difference. Parallel lines have the same exact slope, so these slopes match. Perpendicular lines are not going to have the same slope. So use that to your advantage. If it says perpendicular on the test tomorrow, make sure this number does not go here. Make sure a different number goes there. Okay, well, what's the different number? Remember, parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slope. So if your slope is 3 over 1, you need to flip it to 1/3, and you need to make it negative. Positive, negative. 3 over 1, 1 over 3. That's how that goes. I guarantee you can eliminate probably half of your choices without doing any work just by recognizing that. Now the other thing is the y-intercept. You need that. This line needs to contain this point. So we're going to do the same thing we did on the last 3 problems. Plug your y value in. Plug your m in. Make sure you're using the correct slope. It's the slope that you have for your new line, not your original one. Plug your x in and solve for b. Negative 1/3 times 6 is going to be negative 6/3. I'll just write it like that and I'll simplify. When you multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. So 1 times 6, 3 times 1. Now, that's a negative. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Add 2 to both sides. That's your answer. This line is guaranteed to be perpendicular to this one. They don't have the same slope. They have opposite reciprocal slopes. The y-intercept of 11, that's where this new graph crosses the y-axis, and it has this point on it.